All right, I think we're ready to go. Um, this today, our flight, by the way, for those of you, just for disclaimer, not a real pilot, um, a drone uh, licensed pilot. I don't think that counts for this. Uh, I think that would make me feel really good if I'm on a plane and someone goes, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your drone pilot. I'm going to be flying this 737." Um, Already, right out of the box, I'll let you know some of the tools I'm using. Nimbus, this is the Nimbus based airport. The guys did a bang up job on it. And even if you look at the up here at our space, our gate, we're going to be flying Atlanta to Miami today. We're going to be leaving at the time's wrong on that. I think we're supposed to be leaving at 10:30. There's a plug-in if you have this. If you have the Nimbus Airport for Atlanta, you can get that from the Xplane site under Nimbus Airports here. Yeah, I have a departure time set for 10:30. It may be UTC. That might be the difference. No, it's not. It's correct. Okay, my fault. So we actually are flying out at 10:30. We're going to shoot for 10:30 time. We're going to try to be on time. Uh, we're at a beautiful airport. It's Atlanta Airport. We'll be flying to Miami. We're going to be cruising at an altitude of 37,000 feet. Uh, this tutorial's probably not for your more seasoned pilots who fly a lot with the Zibo 737-800 model, as much as it's for maybe some are just trying to get their feet wet. Uh, in any case, hang out with us and we can have at least a little bit of commentary and conversation. Uh, Nimbus, you did a bang up job on this. The one thing I will say, I've got the Nimbus Airport for Atlanta, and I also have the Charlotte based one. And the amount of detail they put in the airports are stunning. So this, I think this is more. It's more Atlanta. Since this is Delta Hub, there's all kinds of places for Delta to work on their planes here. Uh, in fact, is that a Delta 747? It sure is, and I think that's a museum there at the Atlanta airport. I have not been there. I it's going to put my bucket list. FedEx Hub, and we're going to be taking off on runway 26. No way, 08 right, 08 right. So we won't be passing this here, but there's another section over here where they work on quite a few of the planes. But yeah, this is a staggering detail. Good job to the Nimbus guys. Also, we are using Active Sky for cloud formations, and one other tool that is loaded that we'll be using is our Map Enhancement. It's called XP. Here it's XP Xplane Map Enhancement, and I'm using Pro level. Uh, but what it does, it uses Google Maps, and I think the actual cost of it's $40 a year. You pay one time, and you have access to all the maps. That really helps. We are uh, currently cold and dark in Atlanta, so we'll see if we can't get going. Uh, before before I get in the cockpit, um, I want to make a shout out to Bravo 737. If you're looking for a custom livery and you just want it to look amazing, you need to consider Bravo 737. And we've got uh, some other sites that have been a great influence on me are Q8's channel. That Q8, and I love his channel. Does an awesome job with it. And if you go watch some of his flights, you'll walk away with something you can actually use. So that's a good one. And a Flying Scotsman, another excellent channel. great pilots and very entertaining too whenever you're with them, and very engaging. And they're not afraid to answer your questions, and they seem to really know what they're talking about. Um, uh, I love Q8's story. Uh, I was a little bit nervous about opening this one up, but um, we're going to try it today. But I have the World Traffic uh, plugin also, and I thought we might give it a shot today. Um, and I'm not going to make it too congested, but I'm going to open up World Traffic and place these planes here in World Traffic because we're using, say, Intentions. We're not on the VAT sim today, so I thought this would give us a chance to try out some of our tools. Well, let's bring that up then. We're just a minute, we'll get it going. So we're our flight numbers. Um, it's a hair long, but it's we're Dallas flight number 99611A. Whew, that's a long name, and we'll see how Say Intentions interprets that. Let me see. All right, so it's got this down, and we'll go ahead and tell Stephanie we need our IFR clearance. Well, we can't do that yet till we uh, bring up the.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta Airlines Flight 99611 Alpha, departing from the vibrant city of Atlanta and flying to the sunny shores of Miami. Our captain today is Steve Good, and assisting him is First Officer Brian Song. Joining me in the cabin today are my wonderful colleagues, Emily, John, Sarah, and Michael. We are all here to ensure you have a comfortable and safe journey. Our flight time today is approximately 1 hour and 35 minutes, cruising at an altitude of 36,000 feet. Now, let's go through the safety procedures. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust it to fit snugly across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle and pull apart. In the unlikely event of a change in cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure it with the elastic band and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life vest is located under your seat. To use it, pull it over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, and fasten the buckle. Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. Please do not inflate your vest while inside the aircraft. This Boeing 737 has 8 emergency exits. 2 at the front, 4 over the wings, and 2 at the rear. Please take a moment to locate your nearest exit, keeping in mind it may be behind you.
She's serious about safety.
Flight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Delta Airlines experience.
We're starting up World Traffic right now. It'll take just a moment to kind of engage, but Atlanta Airport, I think it's going to make it, it adds quite a few planes. Most of the time planes stay out of your way. um, I can't integrate it with ATC, but still, it works well. Let's get in the cockpit. So we're cold and dark right now. Our first steps. I have XChecklist here as another tool. You can get carried away, but I really like these tools. Um, we're not going to be going step by step with XChecklist for this flight um, uh, because of for the sake of time. To try to keep this down to at least 2.5 hours. But I'm going to tell you, if you're just getting started, you need it. In fact, every pilot I think needs it because it incorporates all the checklist, and it has really been a big help for me. You don't drop anything. I just dropped the battery guard to get things going. IRS to nav. We're going to start up the APU. I'm waiting for, you'll see a little sign coming up here. Fire it up. Right, and while drop the battery guard for emergency lights, and while that's coming up, I'm going to go ahead and load our flight information and our location. So I hit the init ref. We're loading our location there from the GPS settings. Loading a flight plan through the FMS here. So the flight plan request. This is where I've already set it up in SimBrief. And we're gonna, oh, that's not the right flight. Okay, you need to pay attention to that. When I incorporated the flight plan, I did not do something. Let me go back and open up my SimBrief downloader. There's the flight. Bring that flight in. Okay, so now it's available. I hadn't exported it yet. Now if I go back here, do a request again, you need to pay attention to that. That was my previous flight. Right, let's load this one. That looks better. KATL, KMIA, Dallas 99611, or activate. And we have loaded that flight plan. We're going to go ahead and check the legs, make sure that we've got it set. We're going to be going out. The first waypoint is going to be Skinner. So now our flight plan, the part that we need to get started here is ready, and we're going to go to the AV tab in the console here. Well, not AV tab, we're not this AV tab, but we're doing fuel and weight balance, airside services, load flight plan here, and let's get busy. Now this is a Delta Black. This is a Delta Virtual Airlines flight, so it's an official flight for me to take this flight. And so you're going to have some Delta information that comes up in the background, flight attendants,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight going to Miami International Airport. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible to allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first, on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under this seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
By the way, who's our other plug-in or what? Something else that is on our list of tools today is it's called ground handling. Ground handling. If you go to the forum, Xplane's forum, you can find it. But as you see, ground handling, it's I don't know, it just adds a little bit of immersion that includes the loading of the luggage. You'll see this. You don't dent my plane. There you go. I think I got carried away on opening windows. Yeah, I did. Gosh, that's a lot of luggage. That's a lot of weight. Wow, it's a good job. Like that. So okay, so that tool that I'm using right now that adds that kind of that little realism is the ground handling is what it's called. And as you see, they really do a good job with it. Got serious about his job there. Yeah. Hey. And also, we need to load our passengers. If we'll go back over here to the airside services, you see here what's asked. It's letting me know for passenger boarding, set no smoking switch to on auto. So. Fuel is loaded. Passenger view there. Not sure why the bus is here. Or the ambulance. Okay, so I probably got a little carried away there. Man, that's a crowded place. And if you notice the luggage, little by little it goes away. It's up in the cargo. Wow. Right. Our reserves are 45 minutes, so basically it's going to round up to 1,000. And we will load our performance settings. Okay. Let's load our limits, our takeoff. We're going to be going out with a flap setting of we're going to try to go for 15. That should give us a rotate of about 138. Okay. And we're going to open up our flight directors, or activate flight directors, and load in our V2 of 146 right here. Our cruise altitude is 36,000. You may wonder why, because we're going to be directed about our altitude on the way out. It's because VNAV is going to be orchestrating that for me. So but we have to be ready in the event we need to change our altitude. Anti-skid, we'll go to RTO. It's going to get our panel lights set the way we want. Upper panel lights. Yaw damper on. So because I'm not using the XChecklist right now, all I do is I go row by row to make sure everything is where it should be. Right now, remember, engines aren't on yet. We're on APU. But we do have the pumps. All our fuel pumps are on. Anything I say is subject to what a real pilot, an actual pilot, would say. Anything is I submit to them. But I'm just showing you how I set this up. We're on the APU buses right now. We're not in need of any of this yet because we've got to do a pushback, and the tug operator always gets fussy if you try to put on the landing lights in his face. They are bright. Go ahead and put that down. Turn our hydraulics on. Everything else will stay where it is until we're started. And our cabin cruise altitude's 36,000. We're currently at a 1,000 feet of mean sea level. Not as important, but I always put that in there. We're putting the position strobe to steady at the moment. Our course directors are going to be set right now to our takeoff runway, which is 080. We have missed our takeoff, our scheduled departure time. Let me see if it says delayed. It's going to get a little quieter because the ground handling's finishing up. Okay. We haven't said much about our say intentions yet, but we're about to get engaged with them a little bit more. Stephanie, would you get our IFR clearance, please?
I'll get our IFR clearance. Atlanta clearance, Delta 99611. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance, and we have information India.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by. Delta 99611, Atlanta clearance. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 360 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.6 squawk 5471. Expect runway 8 right.
Delta 3897 IFR to Valparaiso.
Delta 3897, read back correct.
Stephanie, did you already read back to the ATC?
Not yet, Steve. I'll take care of that now.
Delta Niner 611, you're cleared to Miami using the Bang 3 departure, then as filed. Climb to and maintain 10,000 feet. Anticipate flight level 360 10 minutes post-departure. Departure frequency is 124.6, squawk 5471. Anticipate runway 8 right.
Delta 99611, read back correct.
Right. Currently getting our altimeter information, which, by the way, oh, that's the cool part of the Nimbus. If I look out here on altimeter, on the sign it says 2984. That is the correct altimeter. That's all. That's awesome. In fact, I'll verify it with Navigraph. It's off. I'm not sure why, but our Navigraph says it's 2988. So we're going to go with Navigraph. When in doubt, go with Navigraph. We're going to go ahead also and set our flaps to the 15th setting. Just go ahead and leave them there.
Atlanta clearance, this is Southwest 3838. I have uniform requesting IFR clearance to Cleveland, Ohio.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Stephanie, you're clear to go ahead and get Pushback and start clearance.
I can't handle that request. You need to hand over the comms to me first.
Stephanie, you are in charge of all comms.
I can't handle that request. You need to hand over the comms to me first.
Stephanie, I'm trying to. You're in charge of all comms.
Got it, Steve. I'll handle the comms from here.
And get our push and start clearance.
I'll get our pushback and engine start clearance now.
Atlanta ground, Delta 99611, requesting pushback and engine start clearance. We have India.
Delta 99611, pushback and engine start approved, tail south.
And we'll use better pushback to get out of here.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha, proceed to holding point Bravo via taxiway Alpha. Proceeding to holding point Bravo via Alpha, Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha.
He's taking your car. We'll get it later.
Perfect. Okay with that. I can walk and get it.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
By the way, that's a very strange plane. Do you notice that? Engine. I think somebody's messing there.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta. The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and a shared responsibility of everyone on board. So before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you. Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured. Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear.
If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help. As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down.
Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might
Operation
also need
complete.
to buckle
Full
up for
parking brake.
safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin.
Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors. There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft. In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carrying baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with a green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisle to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from panels above your seat
Tow is
and inside
disconnected
the
and bypass pin
lavatories.
has been removed.
Reach
Hand
up
signal on
and
the
pull
left.
the mask
We'll see you
or
next
streamer
time and have
down
a
to
safe
start
flight.
the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing. So don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lap children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table and footrest. Be sure you fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. carry-on items are secured and armrests are at the resting position. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we get ready for takeoff, please settle in. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta.
Stephanie, get taxi clearance, please.
I'll get our taxi clearance now.
Atlanta ground, Delta 99611, ready to taxi. We have India.
Delta 99611, taxi to runway 8 right via 2 November Hotel.
Runway 8 right via 2 November Hotel, Delta 99611.
Some observations I'm making already are the world traffic. I have it set on about 25% congestion, and I like what I'm seeing. Of course, we're going to be told that our rendering options are too high. I don't care. At the moment, we'll probably drop some frames. I also, by the way, a program I'm evaluating, I haven't started using yet, is the lossless. But I think I've heard Q8 talk about it, but I'm not sold on it yet. I've got multiple screens. I don't know how to use it. All right, let's taxi. One thing I want to know about the world traffic, do they respect my boundaries? Guess we'll see. Like the one coming at me here? Is it going to just keep going? Let's see if is it trying to stick to the lines? No, it's not.
Cessna 908, Charlie Echo, runway 30, contact ground on 121.9. Crossing runway 30, contacting ground on 121.9, Cessna 908, Charlie Echo.
You can't see it yet, but as I turn up here, we got a big boy that's coming to 747. Stephanie, do you want to get our takeoff clearance, please?
I'll get our takeoff clearance now.
Atlanta Tower, Delta 99611, holding short of runway 8 right, ready to depart.
Delta 99611, Atlanta Tower, runway 8 right, wind 035 at 8. Fly right. takeoff.
Runway 8 right, winds 035 at 8. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff. Delta 99611.
All right, last step. We're starting our clocks. That'll give us our in-flight time. Our flaps are 5. Toga is set. Okay, so let's get going.
Vectors for sequencing.
Left heading 270, Diamond Tree 71 Bravo Charlie. 21.65, see you later, American 278.
All right, rolling start, Toga. Rotating.
Positive brake.
Flaps to 5. Flaps are fully withdrawn. LNAV, VNAV. Command A.
Delta 99611, contact departure on 124.6.
Switching to departure on 124.6. Delta 99611. Atlanta departure, Delta 99611, morning. We're climbing past 2000.
Delta 99611, Atlanta departure. Radar contact, cleared direct grids. Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Cleared direct grids. Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Delta
as we climb to our
99611.
cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eat items and multi goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket.
At 10,000, we begin to turn
Please
some
be
lights
reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases.
Dear guests,
For your enjoyment, each
like
seat
a
is
gentle
equipped with your own
breeze over
personal
the
entertainment
sea,
system.
we have
On it,
reached
you
a
can
safe altitude.
view a selection of
You may now
complimentary
use
as
your
well as
electronic
on-demand TV
devices.
shows,
Our
movies, and
onboard
music.
Wi-Fi service is also available, so
You
feel
will find
free
that
to
this
connect
screen
and share your journey
will work best
with
with just a
loved
light
ones.
tap of your fingertip.
Sit back, relax, and
Feel free to
enjoy
use
the
your own
flight as we
headsets.
glide towards the
Otherwise, if
sunny
you do need
shores
a
of
headset,
Miami.
just let a flight attendant know
Merci
they are
for
yours
choosing
complimentary
Delta
for this and
Airlines.
any future Delta flights.
I have say intentions. My flight attendants tend to talk over each other.
99611, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, Delta 99611.
At our 12 o'clock, about 12 miles out, you'll see Airport Road Park. It's a lovely little spot nestled in Griffin, Georgia. This park is a fantastic place for families and nature lovers alike, offering a great escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. It's a popular spot for picnics, leisurely walks, and just enjoying the great outdoors. While it might not have the grandeur of a national park, it's a cherished local gem. If you squint, you might even see some folks tossing a frisbee or kids playing on the playground. It's a reminder of the simple joys of life.
By the way, that is Sarah, and I just switched our flight attendant over to be a tour guide. So as we get near monuments or landmarks, she will tell us about them. And I don't know what airport I'm at right now, but I did a shift 3 view, shift 2 or shift 3. Let's get back.
Delta 99611, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330, Delta 99611.
And it's time for us to switch over to STD. And we've already exhausted the center tank, but it didn't have much in it. So engines stay on continuous. Fasten seatbelt signs is set to auto right now.
Heavy, descend and maintain 3000 Airport, 12 o'clock, 20 miles. Descending to 3000 Airport in sight, FedEx 1249 Heavy.
Escobar. This is in regards to a special meal. Would you please identify yourself to a flight attendant?
Delta
Passenger Escobar,
99611,
please.
climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, Delta 99611.
And anybody who's been on a Zibo 737-800 flight know who Pastor Escobar is. He's that guy that's got a weak stomach. Right. Even while we're still climbing, we're at 2210, still climbing. We're going to be coming in on runway 26 left in Miami. And
Delta 99611, contact Atlanta Center on 127.125.
Switching to Atlanta Center on 127.125, Delta 99611. Atlanta Center, Delta 99611. Morning, climbing through flight level 220 for flight level 360.
Delta 99611, Atlanta Center, good morning.
what I'm doing now is I have entered in my arrival, the 26 left runway, and net ref, I have the 109.10 for our ILS. And so I'll go ahead and have it loaded, and it looks like what we can anticipate for our landing is we're going to be coming in at full flaps at 145 knots. That gives our VREF right here, V reference 40, flaps 145. That is subject to change, but as it stands now, that's what we're going to anticipate until they tell us that's exactly what we're expecting.
Southwest 507, turn right, heading 045, vectors for spacing. Right 045 for spacing, Southwest 507.
All right, we are currently still climbing, and to give you an idea of where we are and what we're doing, Miami's here. I think we're still in Georgia right now. We're still over the Georgia, yeah. And we are
At our 1 o'clock, about 15 miles out, you'll spot the Flint River winding its way through the landscape. This river is one of Georgia's most important waterways, stretching over 344 miles. It's a favorite among kayakers and anglers, offering a serene escape into nature. The Flint River has been a vital resource for centuries, providing water and sustenance to the region's inhabitants. If you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of some wildlife along its banks, like deer or the occasional alligator. It's a beautiful reminder of the natural beauty that Georgia has to offer.
beautiful day today. All right, take a break. Go get you a cup of coffee. We're still climbing. We're at actually we're almost at top of climb now, so I'll hang out for a minute more. Got to get me a quick breakfast. At top of climb, we're going to be changing the lighting for the cabin for our passengers and taking the seatbelt sign off. It looks like the skies are very rather smooth. So this is a Delta commercial virtual airline flight. So some of the things I normally do on flights. This isn't one of mine just for fun, but I think I actually am beginning to fly with both them and Allegiant Airlines. They've both been really good and I love their interfaces. Their ACARs are great. Right. Seatbelt sign is off.
You're free to move about. Once you are seated, we recommend you keep your belts fastened. Thank you.
Moving up, keep a little closer. Meanwhile, please sit back, relax, enjoy the trip with us.
As we go.
Delta 99611, Atlanta Center. Contact Jacksonville Center on 125.75.
Contacting Jacksonville Center on 125.75. Delta 99611. Jacksonville Center, Delta 99611. Morning, climbing from flight level 350 to flight level 360.
Delta 99611, Jacksonville Center, good morning.
Lufthansa 441 Heavy, proceed direct to 6 Alpha Lima Tango. Proceeding direct to Alpha Lima Tango, Lufthansa 441 Heavy. Cessna November 707 Charlie Lima Jacksonville Center, roger. Cessna 7 Charlie Lima, contact Atlanta Center on 134.5.
At our 10 o'clock, about 10 miles out, we have the beautiful Cheha Park and Zoo. This isn't just any park, it's a sprawling 800-acre wonderland that combines natural beauty with a touch of the wild. The park was designed by the famous landscape architect Olmsted Brothers, who also had a hand in designing the grounds of the Biltmore Estate and the National Zoo. Cheha is a favorite spot for families and nature enthusiasts, offering everything from BMX biking to a disc golf course. And let's not forget the zoo, which is home to over 200 animals, including cheetahs and black rhinoceroses. It's a fantastic place to connect with nature and wildlife, right in the heart of Georgia. So if you squint, you might just see a giraffe peeking through the trees.
Cleared into the Bravo airspace, maintaining 6500. Cleared into Bravo, maintaining 6500, Piper 456 Alpha Bravo. 431 Juliet, Jacksonville Center, good afternoon.
So we had an issue just a moment ago, and we had a discontinuity in our flight plan, and it came up when I'm not sure, but I missed it. I missed when I did not scroll through to the third page, or second or third page. But anyway, there was a discontinuity in my waypoints, and when it hit that discontinuity, LNAV and VNAV both went off, so like disengaged, and so we were just flying the heading for that moment, I went back and corrected the discontinuity by going ahead and putting the next waypoint and overriding the discontinuity, and now we're back um, on track. But it did take us off for a minute.
2 o'clock. About 20 miles out, we have the Natural Bridge Battlefield Historic State Park. This site is famous for being the location of one of the last significant Confederate victories during the American Civil War. On March 6, 1865, Confederate soldiers and local militia successfully defended Tallahassee from Union forces, making it one of the few southern capitals not captured during the war. The park is named after the natural limestone bridge that spans the St. Marks River, which played a strategic role during the battle. Today, visitors can explore the battlefield and enjoy the serene surroundings, which include hiking trails and picnic areas. It's a fascinating spot where history and nature intersect, offering a glimpse into the past while surrounded by Florida's natural beauty.
Southwest 241 descend and maintain flight level 130. 130, Southwest 241.
What I've been doing, by the way, is something really hosed, and I don't know if I moved a discontinuity point wrongly, but I lost all reference points, or all of my waypoints along this route here. So it turned Frogs into a 352 nautical mile waypoint, which is ridiculous. It's really not a waypoint at all. So I had to go back and correct that. So that's what I've been doing here. I think we're okay now. I can go back and look at it. Step it here. See.
Climb and maintain flight level 410. Climbing to flight level 410, Hawaiian 104.
So I think I corrected that. That was I may have messed up something on the discontinuity part. I think that's probably me. In any case, I think we're okay now. Whoa. That's still Bromo. Let's find Bromo. So from Nikki to Bromo, those are rather long waypoints. but I think I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm good. It does look like I'm headed in the right direction now. We are currently 300 miles from our destination distance, and that gives me about 100 nautical miles to go and get me some food. Great. Hang tight.
United 487, turn right, heading 270. Turning right to 270, United 487.
Allegiant 452, Jacksonville Center, good evening.
Delta 99611, contact Jacksonville Center on 127.8.
Contacting Jacksonville Center on 127.8, Delta 99611. Jacksonville Center, Delta 99611, good morning, maintaining flight level 360.
Delta 99611, Jacksonville Center, good morning.
At our 1 o'clock, about 18 miles out, you'll find the charming little town of Keaton Beach, Florida. This quaint coastal spot is a hidden gem along the Gulf of Mexico, known for its stunning sunsets and excellent fishing opportunities. Keaton Beach is a favorite among anglers and nature enthusiasts who enjoy the peaceful, laid-back atmosphere. It's also a great place for scalloping during the summer months, drawing visitors from all over who are eager to collect these tasty treasures. If you look closely, you might even spot the iconic Keaton Beach Pier, a perfect spot for a leisurely stroll or to cast a line. It's a slice of old Florida charm that offers a glimpse into the simple coastal life.
American 350, traffic alert, climb immediately to flight level 340. Climbing immediately to flight level 340, American 350. Delta 99611, Jacksonville Center. Expect the frogs for arrival. In about 20 minutes, I'll start your descent.
Expecting the frogs for arrival. Delta 99611.
Alpha Bravo cleared into the Bravo airspace, maintain 6500. Cleared into Bravo, maintaining 6500, Piper 456 Alpha Bravo.
Blue Air 416, Jacksonville Center, good morning.
Jacksonville, good morning. TBM 821 Golf Charlie, flight level 260.
TBM 821, Golf Charlie, Jacksonville Center, good morning. Descend and maintain flight level 270.
Descending to flight level 270, American 789. American 123, descend and maintain 1000.
At our 11 o'clock, about 25 miles out, you'll see the beautiful Crystal River. This river is famous for its crystal clear waters and is a haven for manatees, especially during the winter months when they seek the warmer waters. The river is part of the larger Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge, which was established in 1983 to protect the West Indian manatee. It's a popular spot for snorkeling and diving, as visitors can get up close and personal with these gentle giants. The area is also steeped in history, with archaeological sites dating back to pre-Columbian times. So if you squint, you might just spot a manatee or two enjoying the serene waters.
All right. Currently, we are 223 nautical miles from our destination, and it's time for us to pull in our winds and our QNH for our arrival airport. So 2991. These are our descent winds that'll help us along the way as we descend. Let's load those. No winds. Really? It's kind of hard to believe. Well. Okay. Strange. Okay, so let's look at our legs going in.
Spirit 891, descend and maintain flight level 200. Descending to flight level 200, Spirit 891.
We're going to use winter 5000.
8.225 November 215, Quebec.
So let's put that winter. And then ER 5 1 2 3, and we're going to put that right here. Our our elevation in Miami, of course, is 9 feet. 3 meters, 9 feet. Okay, so we're going to come up here and put this to 0. That's all I can do. It's in increments of 50. We're going ahead and go into fasten seat belts. All right, 200 nautical miles from Miami. We have anti-skid, by the way. We're going to be keeping it about 2 because the runways are super long. We're going to place our secondary on approach. We're going to activate our ILS frequencies.
At our 11 o'clock, about 24 miles out, we're flying over Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. This place is a thrill seeker's paradise, known for its roller coasters and animal attractions. Opened in 1959, it started as a hospitality facility for Anheuser-Busch and has grown into one of the top theme parks in the country. It's like a safari and amusement park rolled into one, with over 12,000 animals and some of the most exhilarating rides in Florida. If you're into roller coasters, you might want to check out the Iron Gwazi, which is the tallest hybrid coaster in North America. Just imagine the screams of excitement reaching up to us at 36,000 feet.
Right, we are. We're still at our cruise altitude. We're at 36,000 feet. Our flaps, no, excuse me. Our frequencies are already set for the ILS runway that we were be coming in on, which is 26 left to Miami. Our flight directors are both set to 260 to match the approach, and we're currently headed toward the Plows waypoint, and our descent will begin sometime within the next 30 nautical miles. We'll be monitoring our pressurization. We're not anti-ice is not an issue. Yeah, we're good. Our time in flight thus far from the time we took off has been 57 minutes.
Delta 99611, contact Miami Center on 128.225.
Switching to Miami Center on 128.225, Delta 99611. Miami Center, Delta 99611. Good afternoon, maintaining flight level 360.
Delta 99611, Miami Center, good afternoon.
At our 1 o'clock, about 10 miles out, you'll see the beautiful Sarasota Bay. This stunning body of water is part of the larger network of estuaries along Florida's Gulf Coast. It's a haven for marine life, including dolphins, manatees, and a variety of fish species. The bay is also a popular spot for boating and fishing enthusiasts, offering calm waters and scenic views. Historically, Sarasota Bay has been a vital resource for the local communities, providing food and transportation routes for centuries. If you look closely, you might even spot some kayakers enjoying the serene waters. It's a slice of paradise right here in Florida.
Stephanie, would you get our clearance for descent?
FL 360 right now.
We need descent clearance.
Steve, we're already cleared to Miami. We're maintaining FL 360 right now.
Delta 996, we would like clearance to begin our descent for our arrival.
Delta 99611, descend via Frogs 4 into Miami.
Descend via Frogs 4 into Miami, Delta 99611.
Lieutenants, please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
I think it's probably going to be longer than 15, 20 minutes, but hey, she can be an optimist.
At our 11 o'clock, about 15 miles out, you'll see the stunning Charlotte Harbor. This natural estuary is one of the largest in Florida and is renowned for its diverse marine life and beautiful mangrove forests. It's a paradise for birdwatchers and anglers alike, with species ranging from snook to tarpon. Historically, the harbor has been a vital resource for the indigenous Calusa people and later for Spanish explorers. Today, it's a popular spot for boating and kayaking, offering a peaceful escape into nature. If you look closely, you might even spot a dolphin or two playing in the water.
Alright, sorry I haven't not been a chatterbox at this part of the flight, but I think we have everything set. We'll monitor our descent. Let's try our descent winds again. Alright. Nothing. I'm really thrown by that. I could actually physically enter them. Well, nothing. So what these actually mean, so this is our vertical deviation at the present. It looks like we're getting ahead on our descent by more than a mile, but in actuality we're on a VNAV descent, which means it will eventually even out. So it may look like we're getting well ahead, but that won't last. Eventually it will be held at a certain waypoint and it will even its way out, so we're good. See, even here, this is a hard stop at NO, where we have to remain at that altitude at 245, but at this altitude. So we're good. Hitting buck. And well, let's switch over. We are, the only part that I think I still am trying to get proficient, like consistent at, is FPM, my final touchdown.
At our 10 o'clock, about 15 miles out, you'll spot JetBlue Park, also known as Fenway South. This sports complex is the spring training home for the Boston Red Sox. Opened in 2012, it was designed to replicate the iconic Fenway Park in Boston, complete with its own green monster in left field. It's a place where baseball fans gather to catch a glimpse of their favorite players gearing up for the season. The park also hosts various events and concerts throughout the year, making it a vibrant hub of activity. So, if you're a baseball fan, this is definitely a landmark to appreciate from above.
All right, so just a recap of some of the tools we've used so far in this flight. It would be say Intentions took care of our ATC. It was our ATC. Also, I think we'll see the vectoring, just about how accurate it is to get you vectored and set up for your right approach if it requires vectors, some required vectors. We saw in the earlier stage of this, we saw ground handling, which is something you can get from Xplane, the Xplane forum, and it just adds a little personality to your flight. So that was a good tool. We also have been using world traffic, and I have noticed I've been very pleased. I put world traffic on about 25% congestion or like activity, so I have seen planes along our routes, and that's been kind of cool. It kind of makes it more immersive, but it hasn't been annoying, or hasn't been too much. So it's been, I think we found a good, comfortable medium. In fact, for world traffic, which is the latest version, there's a radar, and we want to select KMIA. And I also see some planes. I see it's not heavily congested, but I see one like that's like within sight of us now. I don't know what I just did. I did the track camera for it. So they must not be at a very high altitude. I'll take that track camera off. Yeah, that one is not at a very well. Let me get that, knock that off. It's annoying. Okay. There was a track camera on that one, but evidently it's not at a very high altitude, that particular flight. But so there are some planes out there. And I'm curious if Miami will have a little bit more traffic, because you load your FMS from your FMS, and so it knows the schedules, and we'll see how much traffic we'll have at Miami when we get there. We've also have our immersion experience has been with Active Sky, which I don't think Active Sky hasn't had as much of a chance to show off, with the fact that we haven't had many clouds. It's been a very clear flight, and we've been using the Xplane enhanced maps, which is utilizing Google, and I think it looks pretty good. If you are a more of a closer to the ground, a VFR flyer, then you would need to have the subscription version of Xplane Enhance. If you're more a IFR flyer, you can get by without the subscription, but in either way, for $40 a year, it's for the Google Maps. I think it'll give you more of the experience, and I like, when I'm closer to the ground, I like things to look a little bit more detailed.
Contact Miami approach on 118.1.
Delta 99611, can we expect runway 26 left on our arrival?
Delta 99611, descend via Frogs 4 into Miami. Delta 99611, expect the ILS approach for runway 26 left at Miami.
Expecting the ILS approach for runway 26 left. Delta 99611.
From a technical aspect, I don't know if that's proper. I would need a real pilot to tell me if that's appropriate, but if I can get that the more I can get information early, the better. But I just want to make sure that 26 left was an active arrival runway, and that because it's already that's what's on our flight plan. Evidently, it is. Okay, that's cool. All right, I'll take it. Frequencies loaded. Anti-skid set. We're at a very even descent right now. We're at 200, and our next waypoint is actually Frogs. So we're on the Frogs approach, Frogs arrival. I see that we have some at or aboves along the way. Like at Vega, we have to be at 250 250 miles per hour or knots at 13,000 feet at or above, and then we'll step it down step by step.
At our 3 o'clock, about 6 miles out, you'll spot the Kirby Storter Roadside Park. This little gem is nestled right in the heart of the Big Cypress National Preserve, which is part of the Greater Everglades ecosystem. The park is known for its scenic boardwalk trail that takes visitors through a beautiful cypress swamp. It's a great spot for birdwatching, and you might even catch a glimpse of some alligators lounging around. The park was established to give travelers a taste of the unique Florida wetlands without having to venture too far off the beaten path. It's a perfect reminder of the wild beauty that Florida has to offer, and a great place to stretch your legs if you're ever on a road trip through the area.
Alright, we're about to thank the tour guide for her service and switch her back. So let me go to channel 2. And we're going to go back. We're going to have our mentor in place. And I'm going to Millie Skybound. I love her. Okay. Millie, as we approach Miami, runway 26 left, do you have any advice?
Absolutely. When approaching runway 26L at Miami, keep in mind that the ILS approach will guide you precisely. Make sure your localizer and glide slope are captured early. Also, be prepared for potential crosswinds as you descend, given the current wind conditions. A smooth landing is all about managing your descent rate and being ready for any last-minute adjustments. You've got this.
She has a lot of confidence in us. It's like, hey, I'm on this flight. You got this. I hope. Alright, we're about to hit a Vega 13,000 at or above, so we're about to hit a hard stop.
Delta 99611, contact Miami approach on 118.1.
Switching to Miami approach on 118.1, Delta 99611.
This has been a very controlled, managed descent by VNAV.
Miami approach, Delta 99611, afternoon descending past 16,000.
Delta 99611, Miami approach, good afternoon. Miami altimeter 29.88. Expect the ILS runway 26 left approach into Miami.
Expecting the ILS runway 26 left approach into Miami. Delta 99611.
Also, he's managed our speed very, very well. I'll give him a gold star for that. He's done a great job. Time in flight, 1 hour and 21 minutes, and we are 24 miles from the airport. Not 24 miles from touching the runway, because we're going to need a chance to get in position. Right now we're at a heading of 093, and the runway is 26 left. We do want to go back and look at our Navigraph chart for this, about one thing about the airport. So we're going to go to Miami, open the airport. We're going to go to charts, approaches, 26 left. For one, let's look at our actual. So final approach course is actually 272. So we're 272. Elevation is 9. Yeah, you're on the ground. You're and we'll probably end up capturing between 4,000 and 3,000 for the ILS. Okay. All right. So you see here we're passing the airport, and we're going to get vectored for our approach. So we'll be somewhere along here. They're going to vector us to Zibo or Basho to get us set up for our approach. We'll see what they do. Basho. They're going to try to get us line. They're going to take us to Basho, and by Basho we'll be at 3,000 feet, ready for our approach. Is anybody seeing an airport out here?
14 Tango, you are cleared into the Miami class Bravo airspace for transition to Jackson Hospital.
Bravo Miami Bravo airspace, transitioning to Jackson Hospital. November 261 for Tango.
There it is. What? Okay. Oh, okay. And we have some traffic and activity. See there, we got. What I love about it is it's not overly congested, but there's one right over there. That is close. You got one right there. Got one taken away. That's not that close. Alright. So we're I think probably by the time we get to Reeland, the waypoint Reeland. Do we have Reeland on ours? No, our last one is Agler.
Alpha Bravo, right to the VOR descent to 4,000. Right to the VOR Alpha Bravo.
Well, in any case, we're about to. Oh, Agler. Oh, I see. Whoa. Oh, wrong screen. Reland, winner, and then from winner we'll get our vector information. And here's what I mean by that. Right here, this is us. So we are coming down Reland. When we get to winner, that will give us enough wiggle room to get configured and set up to come in at Agler.
Delta 99611, descend and maintain 4,000, turn left. Heading 080 vectors for the ILS runway 26 left approach.
Descend and maintain 4,000. Left heading 080 for vectors to the ILS runway 26 left approach. Delta 99611.
Okay. Woohoo. Okay. There's the airport.
Echo 432 Delta Echo cleared for the visual runway 9er report 3 mile final. Cleared visual runway 9er report at 3432 Delta Echo.
I have still not taken over control of speed at this point, or intervene because
Frequency change approved for Welford Tango. Good day.
so far he's doing a good job. Where about he or she, right?
Delta 99611, turn right heading 100.
Turning right heading 100. Delta 99611.
He's setting us up. He is doing a good job. He's setting us up for our approach, our straight in approach. Is awesome.
Delta 99611, 5 miles from Basho. Turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 left approach.
5 miles from Basho, left heading 340. Descend and maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 26 left approach. Delta 99611.
And this is where, since Basho, I can go ahead and re-enable LNAV. And it will take us to the Basho waypoint. Okay. And we are going to flaps 1. Check out our road traffic. Cool. This is current traffic.
cleared ILS 189er81 Tango Mike.
Trying to maintain flight level 300, November 2 on Pine, Quebec.
And we are
Delta 99611, contact Miami Tower on 118.3.
Switching to Miami Tower on 118.3, Delta 99611. Miami Tower, Delta 99611. Good afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 26 left.
Delta 99611, Miami Tower, winds 205 at 15, gusting 29er. Runway 26 left, cleared to land.
Runway 26 left, cleared to land. Delta 99611.
All right, you heard that. We're on the ILS, and we're starting our approach. Awesome. Yeah, nice view. Looks like we're lining up nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good. Flaps are at 15. I'm sorry, 25. 25, flaps 25. VREF is 40 flaps at 145. Go around a set for 3,000 feet in the event we need to go around. And speed is mine.
1,000.
We're at full flaps 40.
To the north by your risk. Clear for takeoff. 1 for Tango. Tango, contact departure. On for Tango, going for departure.
500. 400. 300.
American 3007, contact departure.
Over my shoulder if you want.
200. 100.
307, contact departure on 118.1. Diamond 371, Bravo, Charlie, traffic on a 1 mile final, extend downwind. Extending downwind, Diamond 371, Bravo, Charlie. Over to departure, American 79, see ya. Delta 99611, welcome to Miami. Contact ground on 121.8.
Switching to ground on 121.8. Delta 99611. Miami ground, Delta 99611.
Please remain
Afternoon.
seated with your
We've
seatbelt
cleared
securely
runway
fastened
26
once
left
the
and are
captain
ready
has
to
parked
taxi to
aircraft
the
at
gate.
and turned off the seatbelt sign.
Delta 99611, Miami ground, taxi to E24 via Juliet, Juliet, Papa. Have a good day.
Please be reminded to
Taxi
use
to
caution
Echo
when opening
24
overhead
via
bins,
Juliet, Juliet,
prevent
Papa,
injury from articles
Delta
that may have shifted during
99611.
landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a uniformed Delta agent meeting this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team,
Cherokee Tree 15 X-ray Papa, hold short of taxiway Delta traffic on final approach.
Holding short of Delta Cherokee 315 X-ray Papa.
I may have needed to go over to the other side there. I think I'm supposed to be on the other side of the airport. We're going to pause for a minute though. Now that we can pause, let's go back and look at the landing. I'm not real thrilled with the landing. Ignore that. What are you about to see? And I have some more work to do. By the way, I do notice this, that World Traffic doesn't know how to interpret replays. So when you are cutting to a replay, when you're cutting to a replay, it's not adjusting. It still sees everything happen in real time. Just a little quirk. I will not be approved for that flight because I think I was at 694 feet per minute on the touchdown, and so that will not get me an approval. Live and learn. It's one thing I've got to work on. So I'm gonna go park in timeout here. Get ready for the shutter.
Embraer 225 Echo Mike, follow the King Air, then hold short of taxiway Echo.
Follow the King Air, holding short of taxiway Echo, Embraer 225 Echo Mike.
All right. We'll see you on the next flight.